left to go. This is our 14th annual Southern Illinois Music Festival. It generally runs 2.5 to 3 weeks. We do 30 concerts in about 20 different venues all over Southern Illinois. It's classical music and jazz. We do orchestral music, chamber music, opera, jazz, new music, and we reach out to smaller areas around the region in concerts for adults and children, our Classics for Kids and Jive with Jazz series. We have close to 100 artists performing with the music festival, instrumentalists and singers, and we do, the singers are here to do an opera, and then this past weekend we just did a fabulous work by Rossini, Messa di Gloria, with soloists, chorus, and orchestra, and we did a big orchestra concert on Saturday night. And next weekend is our final weekend, and we're doing Mozart's Magic Flute in a brand new setting. We'll talk about that a little bit later, and another orchestral concert, and then chamber music throughout the week. So we've got really a big slate coming up this week, and everything's on our website at www.sifest.com.
What's the theme for this year's festival?
Oh, the theme. The theme is Twos by Twos, TWOS by TEWS. Jacob Twos is our principal violist. He used to be a professor at SIU. He's now teaching out in Iowa, and he's also a composer. So he asked me last summer if he could write a piece of music for two soloists, violin, cello, and orchestra, and he did a wonderful piece. We premiered it on Saturday. So that's where the Twos by Twos comes into play, and we're using a Noah's Ark theme on our materials and our program and brochure and everything. And we're featuring other double concertos. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned it, because our concert last Tuesday night featured actually 4 double concertos. That's a work for 2 soloists and orchestra. And I think we have an excerpt from that concert. It's about 2.5 minutes long. It's by Handel. It's the entry of Queen of Sheba for 2 oboes and strings.
Play? Huh?
It's playing.
Can you throw in one?
Yeah, I'll do that. you're listening to Talk of the Town Radio, 91.1 WDBX, and we are discussing the Southern Illinois Music Festival, and we just heard a snippet from one of the concerts last week, and Juan Carlos, you were actually playing that music.
Correct.
It's beautiful.
Hello, everybody in surrounding areas in Carbondale. I'm Juan Carlos Siviero from Argentina. That meaning we are an orchestra made up of people, of local people, faraway people, and we are all under the conducting skills of Maestro Ed Benias to put together all this great music. And that was one of the featured pieces of music that we played last week. Also featured the Johann Sebastian Concerto for 2 violins and Mozart Concerto for 2 pianos. And that was a really wonderful experience. So we are very grateful to be here and inviting everybody from little kids to everybody to our concerts. They're very important.
And what do you have planned this week? I know there's lots of stuff going on in the final week.
Big week coming up, Amy. Actually, starting tonight, there's a free concert tonight. It's an organ recital. It's sponsored by American Guild of Organists. That's at 7:30 at Shryock Auditorium. This incredible organist who went to Yale and Juilliard. He's really got a great background, and he looks like he's about 12 years old. His name is Joshua Stafford. And he's playing a fabulous program from Mozart to Mendelssohn to Dvorak to some other works. So that's at Shryock, 7:30, and that's totally free. And then tomorrow night is probably our big chamber music extravaganza. Going along with the theme of twos by twos, we are doing 2 octets. So that's 8 instruments, or you could say it's a double quartet. One for Winds by Beethoven and one for Strings by Mendelssohn. Those are the 2 main pieces on the program. That's tomorrow night, Tuesday, June 5th, 7:30, First United Methodist Church. We're also doing a very humorous work by P.D.Q. Bach called Echo Sonata for 2 Unfriendly Groups of Instruments. So it's short but really funny. So that's our big chamber music concert. There's also, if you're in Anna or near Anna, at the same time, there's another chamber music concert at Anna Tuesday night. And then one of my personal favorites is the Benias Family Recital. That'll be this Thursday night at the Methodist Church. That is also free admission, but we are taking donations in support of the Carbondale Women's Center. So that's 5 p.m. Thursday night at the Methodist Church in Carbondale. And my fabulous family, my lovely wife, Kara, and my daughters, Gabriella on violin and Maya on cello. We're doing music by Rossini, Haydn, Bruch, Mozart, Mendelssohn, and Benias. Little Benias just turned 13, has a quartet for clarinets that will be performed. Friday, Amy, you'll be there Friday night at Shryock Auditorium for Mozart's Magic Flute. And we are setting the opera. I have to tell you, the Magic Flute has fabulous music, has one of the stupidest plots ever. So we're throwing it out. And we made our own plot, and we're setting the opera inside a video game, all hosted by Super Mario, who sings the role of Papageno.
You know, you like to take ownership of these things, too, which is always great about the festival. I remember a couple years ago...
You remember William Tell. We set William Tell with George Washington crossing the Delaware.
And that was boring, so you guys did Star Trek or something, right?
And the Star Trek, Abduction, that's right. Another really silly, ridiculous plot by Mozart.
But it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's been actually, we were the first to do that, and they're doing it now all over the country, right?
Wow.
Yeah, they did it in Orlando. I'm sorry to interrupt. They did it in Orlando over the weekend. The same plot that we did here.
Same director and some of our cast as well. Yep. So we're updating the Magic Flute. So that's Friday night and at 7:30, Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. at Shryock. All these details, if you're not writing it down in the car right now, our website, sifest.com, and I think it's on also the Carbondale Chamber of Commerce website. You can get a complete schedule and rundown.
Why is this music festival something you offer each and every year now in its 14th year? It's probably grown quite a bit from its start.
It's funny, Amy. I've had kind of a rough April and May, and one of my patrons, a fabulous patron, and this festival's not possible without incredible support from our local patrons, monetary support. We couldn't do it otherwise. But he said, Ed, you got to take it easy. You got to take it easy for the music festival. I said, that's like telling Tom Brady, you had a great regular season. Just lay off in the playoffs. Does that answer your question a little bit? This is the pinnacle of the year for me and for a lot of our musicians. We have faculty performing. We have some of the best students at the School of Music, and like Juan Carlos. This is our 14th year. He's been here 13 out of 14 years of the festival. One of my oldest friends from Chicago. He's a fabulous viola player, and so. Great musicians from all over the country, from Florida, from Texas, New Mexico. Our singers come from New York and Los Angeles that you'll hear on Friday night and Sunday afternoon. So it's really important to bring this level of... we do basically a whole season's worth of music in 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you hope the reaction is from people who come out to one of these concerts or all of them?
Well, I was surprised over the weekend. For example, we performed this Rossini Mass. Now, when I say Mass, you're not really gonna run out and go hear that. I've been really promoting this thing. Don't miss the Rossini Mass. Okay, nobody had ever heard of it, even in our orchestra. No one had played it, and to a person at these concerts, people said we loved it. Someone came up to me and said, "That's how I think heaven sounds." So, I mean, people get such an incredible... It made me feel so good that they love this piece of music that I had only discovered a couple of years ago, and I want to present to the public. So that's what it's all about, our patrons. We don't have huge crowds. I mean, 150, 200, 250 people, and at smaller venues as well. But the people who are there really love it. That's why we do it.
And the great thing, too, it's not just here in Carbondale, it's all throughout Southern Illinois, so you pick different communities to perform in.
Yeah, and that's right. There is a beautiful auditorium at Carterville High School, and they're a partner with us. So this Saturday night we're doing, between the two opera performances, we do Beethoven's 7th Symphony and the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto with the concertmaster of the Chicago Symphony. So one of the greatest violinists in America is coming here to Carterville and Carbondale to perform the Mendelssohn Concerto. So that's 7:30 Saturday night at Carterville High School. So yeah, Amy, you're right. It's an important part of the mission that we're not just here at SIU and in Carbondale, but we're Murfreesboro, Herrin, Carterville, Anna, Cairo. We like to be all over the region and reach as many as we can.
And it's obviously a cultural event that many of us are always complaining about why we can't have all these types of opportunities in Carbondale, and we go to St. Louis and all these other cities. Well, this is your opportunity, right?
That's right, yeah. Don't go on vacation.
Stay in Carbondale.
You got that Memorial Day event, which you guys did, fantastic. So we start Memorial Day weekend, and we go for 2 weeks after that, so plan your vacations around those two times. Stay here.
And what makes it so worth it to you, Ed? You obviously put a lot of hours and a lot of effort into not only securing the locations, but securing the music and making sure everyone shows up at the right place, at the right time, at the right day.
Yeah, I'm the executive director and the music director, so that's my job. That's what I do until I retire.
And if people would like to learn more about the Southern Illinois Music Festival, where can they go to get more information?
Our website, sifest.com, or if you're a Carbondale Chamber member, we had an email blast last week, and I think we're in the, just like advertising Talk of the Town, there's a little poster, and you click on the poster, and you get the complete description and the schedule.
And anything else you would like to add? Maybe we forgot to ask you. I know we try to cover as much information as possible.
Well, let's have JC, Juan Carlos, fabulous musician from Florida, great old friend. Say the last word, JC.
My last words? No, thank you. As you can see, we having a really great time. We're all friends. We keep up with good humor going through rehearsals. They're very intense. They're very there are a lot of stresses to get, but we get it through great humor. Maestro keeps up the momentum, and we go along with it. That's the only. I think it's a great winning formula for the whole festival and festivals to come. Hopefully.
Bravo.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a short break and give you some announcements, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Good morning. This is Alicia with the City of Carbondale here to bring you this week's calendar of events. On Thursday, June 7, 2018, beginning at 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., it's Meet the Mayor. This is a time to chat with Carbondale Mayor John Mike Henry and Carbondale City Manager Gary Williams to ask questions and share your concerns. This month, we will be at Denny's Restaurant. For more information, call 618-559-1939. On Saturday, June 9th, 2018, it's Fresh Fitness. The City of Carbondale has teamed up with Carbondale Park District to host a series of fitness classes every Saturday during the Carbondale Farmers Market in June and July. Classes will be held from 10 to 11 a.m. at Turley Park. Experience is not required. Please wear comfortable clothes and bring a water bottle, towel, and or yoga mat. A cash donation of $5 is suggested. For more information on this event, please call 618-559-1939. And on Sunday, June 10th, 2018, the Carbondale Community High School presents School Days, beginning at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are $12. The School Days is a musical show featuring traditional barbershop songs and new tunes composed specifically for this performance. For information about this event, please call 618-303-9579. For information on these events and others, please visit our websites at WDBX.org or CarbondaleTourism.org, or you can reach us by phone at 618-457-3226. Thank you and have a great week.
Good morning, Carbondale. You are listening to Talk of the Town Radio, and we have our next guest in studio, Cinnamon Smith with Carbondale Tourism, and today we're talking about Celebrate 618. This is a brand new event here in Carbondale. Cinnamon, if you can tell us a little bit more about it and how the idea came about.
So thank you very much for having me on this morning. Celebrate 618 is a collaboration amongst 11 different Carbondale community organizations, from Boys and Girls Club, the Park District, Carbondale Main Street, Carbondale Tourism, the Chamber of Commerce, even SIU. So the list is quite long, and we really started getting together in the early spring to talk about what we could do collaboratively to add more events to our community, and this was just a brainchild of all of those different event organizers that were in the room. So.
And what activities do you have in the dates for those activities?
So we're really excited. Celebrate 618 is going to kick off on June 14th with an event that has pretty much been in our community for 20 years at least, and that's the Sunset Concert. And so that's the first one of their season. It's June 14th at Shryock Auditorium Steps. And then on Friday, the 15th, we're going to have a new event, and that's going to be at SIU's Campus Lake. It's called Steak by the Lake. And that's an opportunity for people to come out and have a meal that's been prepared by a local caterer. It's using local foods, from the vegetables even to the meat. So we've been able to get a donation for providing local beef. So we're really excited about that. And again, that's at 5:30 at Campus Lake. You'll be able to ride the paddle boats out on the lake, which is wonderful. The lake is in fantastic condition. All the renovations that SIU has done to that property, as well as the new boathouse. It's just a beautiful location. And so we really want to help them get more people excited about going on to campus, even though they may not be affiliated with SIU. And then on Saturday, the 16th, we're kicking that off at the Town Square Pavilion at 11 o'clock, and that's our Junior Jamboree. So for those folks that have families that want to come out with their young kids or even a little bit older kids, there's all types of games and activities that are being played at the Town Square Pavilion. The Boys and Girls Club, along with Carbondale Park District, are leading that event. At 3 o'clock, you can find art and restaurant pop-ups throughout the downtown area, and so we've really asked for our local restaurants to come out to the sidewalk and offer something to people attending that part of the event. And at 7 o'clock, you can find a concert free to the public, and that'll be at the Washington Street venue.
So there's really something for people of any age, and do want to point out for the Steaks by the Lake, that's ticketed event, you have to purchase those hopefully in advance.
Yes, those tickets are still on sale through Friday, and so we are hoping that it is limited. Though we only have 72 seats available, and so if you haven't got your ticket, then our website is a great place to start for information.
Hey, and so on that event, is it inside out? In the boathouse or out or both?
It is outside only. So everyone should be prepared to be outside. We've been checking the weather now that the 15-day forecast is out. It looks like it's going to be beautiful, 80s, so maybe something similar to what you're experiencing today on the weather. But come dressed to be outside, dressed to get out onto the lake. So just in case you happen to get wet, then we don't want anybody to be too fancy, but really just have a good time and be able to socialize with people. We know there are people bringing kids, so it is family friendly. So there isn't an age limit there. So it's really just something for everybody.
And I think the name says it all. Celebrate 618. We're celebrating not only Carbondale's finest, but Southern Illinois' finest.
Correct. This was just a fabulous idea with the name, and the credit goes to all of the committee. Our goal is to eventually have this event grow and add more activities. It could be as much as a week-long process. It could be a month-long celebration. It really just depends on who's willing to get involved. We've had a lot of contact from other civic organizations who weren't part of the original meeting that said, hey, we're seeing what you're doing. We want to be part of it. So once you get past this first event, call us to the planning meetings because we want to get involved. So it's really exciting. This could be something where we could even take in other communities if they're wanting to get involved with us.
And I know last year when we were planning the eclipse, it took a lot of people both inside of Carbondale and outside in Southern Illinois and surrounding communities. I mean, is this kind of deja vu, working to plan an event like this?
No, actually, we're very fortunate because of all of the organization's directors are on this committee, and so they're very established event planners. So knowing that the Boys and Girls Club and the Park District are handling one event, my organization in SIU is handling the Friday night event. Of course, Sunset Concerts has their own planning committee, so we don't need to worry about their event. But then Carbondale Main Street and WDBX and the Varsity, they're handling the evening concert. So each entity is taking on a portion of this, so it doesn't all fall to one organization, and it has made it has allowed for us to make this very quick. So our original idea kind of came to head the beginning of March. So from March until the event, you're not talking about a lot of time for planning. So their experience and their knowledge has made this very smooth planning process.
And really, what do you hope the reaction is from the community? This is a first-time event, so...
So actually, we've really received a lot of positive remarks, especially from our business community. We've had a huge support from our sponsors, sponsors that we didn't necessarily think we would get this year because it is a first-time event, but we've had an enormous amount of support. And then what we think will happen is that maybe not all of the events will be attended to their maximum capacity for those venues, but once people come out and they enjoy what we have to offer, then they'll understand that next year when this comes around, the same date, same time, that we'll be able to provide more activities and maybe reach other folks. The only downfall to having a short time frame for planning is that you're not aware of other events that are happening in and around Southern Illinois, and although you try to plan to not compete with anything, our real goal was just not to compete with anything in Carbondale. And so what we're finding is that there are Street Machine Nationals going on that weekend, and that's a new weekend for that event, but maybe we'll be able to pull some of those attendees into Carbondale versus having them go to other towns for the weekend.
We need people, and like Sim said, I mean, a lot of people have asked why not more events in Carbondale, and there are people working on that. And so the next step is we need people to go out and show up and participate, because as more people come, these events grow, there's more money, there's more funding, and you get bigger bands and you get more events and
exactly.
on.
And the other piece of it is, you mentioned there are events going on all the time in Carbondale, but they may just not be for you. And so then in your mind, well, there's nothing to go, there's nothing happening for Carbondale. Well, the truth is, by pulling each of these individual events together, each can be standalone events separately. But by pulling them together, then the marketing can be much broader and really give people the feeling that there is a festival happening. And that's when people start thinking, yeah, there are things going on in my town. But there always are things going on in Carbondale, and we were very mindful of trying not to compete or take away from something else. So.
And this event, you can go for the whole day, or you can come back and forth. If your kids need a nap, or if mom and dad want a night out on the town, there's those windows of time that people can come and go as they please.
Exactly. Other than the Steak by the Lake, which we mentioned earlier, that was a ticketed event, everything else is free to the public. And so we want you to come as you feel free. The concert in downtown Carbondale on Saturday night is free. We ask that you bring your lawn chairs if you're wanting to sit someplace other than on the grass, and just enjoy a night full of music. You know, you can buy drinks and food at any of our local surrounding establishments and be able to come to the concert venue with those things.
And going back to kind of the kickoff of Celebrate 618 on Thursday, where's that concert going to be held for the Sunset that night?
So Sunset concerts are on SIU campus at Shryock Auditorium. Steak by the Lake is at Campus Lake, and then the Saturday night concert is at the Washington Street venue.
And if people would like to learn more information about the events you have going on, where can they go to get more information?
We've created the Celebrate618.com website. There it has information about all of the scheduled events. So we've got posters for each individual event. You can click on any of those posters and they'll give you information about those individual events.
And also, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but you always have to think of weather. A lot of the events will be held outdoors. Is there any type of rain-out plan, or how will that?
At this time, the only event that we would probably reschedule would be the Steak by the Lake, since people have purchased tickets for that event. Everything else will go on as possible. If we find out for the concert, just due to the electrical equipment and such involved, that we're not able to move forward, then the event will just be canceled. But we'll try to maybe do something else in another time of the year.
So the start of something new here in Carbondale, something that Carbondale Tourism is hoping to carry out for years to come, it sounds like.
Yes, I hope that Carbondale Tourism can be part of this organization for quite some time. Again, without our partners, though, this could never happen. So we're very appreciative to all of the organizations that are involved with us.
And then the Steak by the Lake tickets, those can be purchased at your office and then also online as well?
Yes, at our office we take checks only, no cash. And then on the website you'll pay with a debit card through the Eventbrite website.
Great. Anything else, Gary?
No.
Anything else you would like to add, Cinnamon? Maybe we forgot to ask you?
No. As I mentioned, for the downtown concert, again, it's similar to the Sunset concert, so Sunset concert rules do apply. You can bring your chairs. We do not provide any kind of seating. There's grassy area, there's concrete. We will not be providing any kind of alcoholic beverages, so you'll need to bring your own. No glass at all, plastic or cans only, please. And again, if nothing else, we would prefer that you just visit any of our local establishments and provide them business and then carry your beverages over.
Once again, Cinnamon Smith with Carbondale Tourism talking about Celebrate 618 June 14th through the 16th.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening this morning to Talk of the Town. We'll check in with you next Monday. Have a great day.